Hey guys, what have you been doing? I know you've been very, very busy and you've been busy in the studio. So tell us about that. How's it been for you?
I think the majority of the last few months has all been building up to the past 2 weeks that we've had. Fortunately, we had lockdown, which meant we could write towards the new album.
Yeah.
So this is what we've been doing. It's been the run up to the second album. And we've been fortunate enough to spend the last 2 weeks in the Motor Museum in Liverpool. And we've done something we are very, very proud of. So it's been hard work, and it's been non-stop every single day. And Loic, who is the producer and who's mixing the album, he's worked us as hard as anything to get the best. But what we've actually put down and recorded and tracked, I'd say we're probably more proud of than anything else we've done. It really does sound incredible. What do you think, lads?
Yeah, it's been a tough kind of 10 days that we recorded it, but it was, I don't know, like, I know we all enjoyed it, and the build up to it was the exciting thing, seeing all the songs come to life, and so
you spent every day for the last 2 weeks busy recording to put this album together, your second album. You must be elated at the moment and exhausted.
It's a combination of every emotion known to man, I think, because even before that, we'd spent months and months and months. Even the build up in the 2 weeks before we went in, we spent every single day basically in pre-production and making sure everything sounded how we wanted it to. And if there was one person who got something wrong to what everyone else was doing, we'd sync it up and we'd know what we were doing. So the reason for that is because when we go into the studio, unlike some other bands who'll do it track by track, we record everything live. So to get the energy of the live show, for instance, we'll all go into the same room and we'll all record, and that energy will be what's on the track. As I say, we literally couldn't be happier. It's sounding amazing. I think it's a more, I'll say, mature sound. There's a lot more like songwriting elements gone into it. We've really focused on the little bits of the songs, because I know the first album was very much like in your face rock and roll, that kind of thing. But this one has a lot more darker and light elements, and we've played around with textures and dynamics and other things that you wouldn't have heard on the first album.
Wow, sounds really interesting. You're kind of glowing, like beaming.
Well, yeah, because it's something that we've just been so proud of, and it is our baby. We poured ourselves into the songs for like the best part of a year now. Lockdown's been almost a year, hasn't it? So as we entered that's when the songwriting began. Like, I know Rimmer started writing riffs from the second he was a load and stuff.
That's the only good thing about this lockdown, is that we had so much time in our hands to like write and stuff, and just, you know what I mean, like it was so good for getting ideas together. And even for us, I think the writing style on this album, we had to approach it different, because obviously in the first lockdown we couldn't get into like our rehearsal room and stuff. So it was more like we were using things like Google Drive to send riffs over, or just like clips on Facebook and stuff. But I don't know. I think it's made the album a lot more mature. Do you know what I mean? I think the writing style did help in that, in the sense. So
are you going to try it and schedule a tour for later in the year, or are you able to do that at the moment?
We would absolutely love to, and obviously nowadays, especially in the industry that we are, a lot of albums promote the tour rather than the tour promote the album, just because of the way things work and stuff. So ideally, we would absolutely love to be touring this album. Obviously, given the time that we have and given the state the industry's in at the moment, I believe we probably have the time to mix it the way we want to mix it, build up the right promotion and release the singles when we want to, and hopefully that can then coincide with the coming back of live music and the tours and the gigs, which would be perfect timing. It's just a case of as and when, with all the vaccines and the introduction of music again. Because
are you planning on releasing a single from the new album?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think there may be singles from the new album
coming out quite soon.
We haven't got dates, but I think we would very much like to. I know previously we were in the studio. Last time we spoke, actually, we were in the Motor Museum again.
You were. I remember asking you.
And we were recording one of the singles from the album. However, because of the state of things since then, and because everything changed a little bit, we decided to mess around with that single when we were back in this time, and basically make it more cohesive with all of the other tracks rather than just a standalone single. Right. So we're going to treat that as part of the album as opposed to on its own, and then see what the best plan of action is, I think.
Yeah, play it by ear, see how it goes.
I mean, that's what everyone's going to do at the moment.
Do you have a name for the album yet?
Right, we do.
Yeah.
Can you share it with us?
But we're being very, very careful. Some people may have seen that we also posted our track listing on the whiteboard that we've been working on in the studio. And
some people kind of got it. So
what's that?
Have you been leaving cryptic clues around your social media?
I don't think it was too cryptic because people are quite on the ball. But yeah, there's been a few very good guesses. And should you want to take your guesses at it, there is a photo on our Facebook that you may be able to work some things out from. Yeah,
I'm going to do that as soon as we finish with this. I'm going to go and check that out, see if I can work it. You probably won't tell me if I'm right or wrong. So that's just going to be frustrating.
You'll probably know.
if you do get it though, we'll just delete the post. So
yeah. No,
I just want to talk about your merch. I had a look in your merch store.
Okay.
You've got some amazing merch and things that I've not seen at anybody else's merch store. You've got a studio experience for 2 people.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. I mean, was that something that you did while you were recording this album?
Well,
because obviously we've got social distancing in place, and was that able to happen or?
So unfortunately this time it wasn't able to happen.
Right.
That was there for our original recording as well.
Oh, okay.
We always like to offer the extra thing.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's kind of an experience as opposed to an object, something material. And the other thing, and this is fantastic, Revival Black live acoustic home experience with a signed set list. I know some of your other items are signed set lists as well, but this is a fantastic thing. So you go to somebody's home and you play an acoustic set in their living room, and you've actually added that actually you don't even need to come along and play. You're just happy to sit and watch films with people and have a few beers. And I was trying to take this to the furthest I could imagine. I think you could offer all kinds of home experiences. You could come and cook with people, do gardening, all sorts of things.
Well, the funniest thing is we are due to basically fulfill one of these, but because of lockdown it's been very difficult. But Sean, one of our fans and their friends, who's down in Gravesend, because we always play Leo's Red Lion down in Gravesend. Fantastic venue, and Sean is a huge fan, and him and Michael, his friend, both pitched in. So what we were going to do was, after a show, for instance at Leo's, we would love to then go and do this after party acoustic show for all the guys at the Rock Cooperative and whoever they wanted to. Unfortunately, because social distancing and travel and all the restrictions, we can't do it yet. But the second we're able to go back down and do it, we're going to sort something out with Sean. So we are really excited. But that's the thing. It doesn't necessarily have to just be a show. I mean, we'll play our songs. And chances are that might be the first peak of the brand new album. But just the idea of hanging out with, because at a show, we're more than happy to spend time afterwards, or a festival or something, and just hang out with everybody, because we're as big a fans as anyone else's music. So
I think it's great. What about electric sets in people's gardens? Would you do that?
By all means, if they wanted to. Take some logistical nightmare with the PA systems now, but we're more than happy to, yeah.
Rave and I were doing this, and so when I saw you do it, I thought this is a great idea. I know it was a while ago now, and I wanted them to come do it for my birthday, but I went away in the end, so it didn't happen. But it's fantastic for people's birthdays, anniversaries, anything. You could hire Revival Black to come and play in your garden or lounge, whatever. Once this is all out the way, what a great thing that would be to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for plugging it. Everyone didn't know that.
I suggest people go to revivalblack.com, check out your merch store. There's some real gems there. So I wish you guys all the best. It's always lovely speaking to you. I think, Danny, you're like the nicest guy in rock. You know, people say that about Dave Grohl. I think it's you. So yeah, I really, really look forward to seeing you again, and hopefully one of the festivals you've got planned for this year will actually go ahead.
Fingers
crossed. We'll see. And yeah, can't wait to hear what you've been working on. Go and have a rest now. I think you deserve it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
All the best. Big hug, guys. See you soon.
See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
This is rock and roll.